to per my last email. This is the third installment of my Please Apply to take the PMP playlist. I'm giving you all the secrets that I know, everything that I've learned, this information that I had to pay for. I'm giving to you for the free ski. So if this is helpful in any way, please let me know. Put it in the comments. If you use this video to help you, get your application accepted, just let me know and it'll make my day. It'll make me so happy. Anyway, let's get to it. So this part is the most draining, most annoying, most tedious, most detailed part. The part that I did not have fun doing, because once you put in your name, which I know takes so much energy, you have to go in project by project to say what exactly you did to prove your 3,500 project management hours, if that's the bucket that you fall into. You have to put in your hours in numeric form, and then you have to write a paragraph saying exactly what you did. So when you put in your numbers, don't be shy. You have to have 3,500 hours of non-overlapping project management experience. So you cannot be shy. Projects take a long time. More, when you really think about how much energy and time and planning that you put into these projects, is not no little bit of time. It takes a lot of time to do these projects. So don't be shy. So really think about how much time that you spend in each of these project phases. If the project lasted 8 months and you work an 8-hour day and it takes, half of your day just in meetings about this project, that's a long time. And if the project happened over the course of, you executed over the course of a few months, you have to course correct as you were executing this project. These are hours. You need 3,500 hours. Use all of your hours. For example, I mentioned this in the first video. I had to do this cleaning beautification project for my sorority. And in the project, it was a national sorority initiative, and they wanted us to pick a park and clean it up, plant flowers, and just make it beautiful, essentially. It came down from national to our regional, down to our local chapters. So picture that initiation. That initiation took a long time. I'm sure they did not just come up with that project on a whim and say, hey, we should have our chapters do this. So not only did nationals have to come up with the stipulations for what they wanted the overarching project to look like, it had to come down to our local chapters, and then we had to discuss as a local chapter what we wanted it to look like in our town. And then once I was the project manager, we had to think about where we wanted to do it and kind of work out the details there. Before we even started real planning, we had to just kind of nail down some key details. All that is initiating. So on my PMP application, I said initiation took 300 hours. Now planning took a really long time too, because we set a date for when we wanted to make this thing happen. And so from the day that I became project manager until the day that it happened, it was a lot of planning that went into the time in between there. So I had to talk to the officials on campus to see if we could actually beautify. I had to talk to our treasurer to see what our budget was.
I had to talk to our members to see who all could volunteer. I had to coordinate times and create time sheets, and I had to just do a lot of planning.
It was a lot of planning. And for this project, I said that planning took 450 hours. Executing, of course, took 8 hours. We kind of stayed there all day and cleaned up. All of the sisters came together, cleaned, planted flowers, took pictures, of course. And we did it from the morning until late in the afternoon. So I said that took about 8 hours. Monitoring and controlling was about 10 hours, because we kept going back periodically to make sure that the place was still intact and that the flowers were still where they needed to be and that things just kind of looked how they were supposed to. So we just kept going back to make sure that everything was good, of course. And then we closed everything out. Closing took about 50 hours because we had to document everything that we did for nationals. We had to take the pictures and then print them out, put them in a scrapbook for documentation, send them to the local newspapers for them to print a little article about us. We had to collect all the receipts and make sure that our budgets were intact, and just all of the closing paperwork took a few hours. And so I said that closing took 50 hours. And so that was pretty much the project in detail with hours. And so when you submit your application, you have to not only put in the hours, you have to write a paragraph about the project, essentially. So when you write your paragraph, I suggest that you have 5 sentences, 1 sentence addressing each of the 5 stages of project management, and you have a limited amount of characters available to you, so you have to kind of squeeze everything in really, really tight. You have to address each of the 5 phases in that paragraph. So this is exactly verbatim what I wrote in my paragraph for this project. I'm about to read it. I was appointed as a project manager for an initiative to revitalize a park in my area for a national organization initiative. That's initiating. I created a project plan, budget, and finalized all necessary steps to execute all tasks. That's planning. I worked with a community leader to confirm which park to work in and fill out all required papers to complete the task. That's still planning. My team and I completed the project in a day's work, finished under budget, and we were featured in a newspaper. That's executing and monitoring / controlling in one sentence. We documented our project and submitted to our national organization for their archives. Closing. Ding. That's just that on that. I think I had 5 total projects on my application to make up my 3,500 hours. And if you just do that and really understand the 5 phases and address each of the 5 phases and really think about how many hours it takes to do a project for real, it takes a long time. And you'll have your 3,500 hours in no time. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Follow me on Instagram. I'll tag my Instagram below. And reach out to me with any questions you have. BriaJWilliams99@gmail.com. And I also have a document that I created for my friends because a lot of my friends kept asking me about the application. How do I apply? What do I do? I created a very comprehensive document that pretty much spells out everything that I talked about in these videos on paper. It's about 2 pages, but it's extremely thorough. And everybody that used this piece of paper to fill out the application got the application accepted on the first try. I'm pretty much at 100% success rate at this point. So I think if nothing else helps, if these videos didn't help, that document is going to help for sure. So just let me know if you need it. I'll be more than happy to pass it along. But if this video was at all helpful to you, if you used any one of the 3 videos to apply for the project management professionals exam and your applications gets accepted, especially on the first try, hit me up, leave me a comment. I need all the success stories that I can to boost my brand. But seriously though, I really hope that it helps. This is everything that I know. I poured it out my heart to you guys. So I hope that it's beneficial, and let me know if I can help with anything else. Any more PMP questions, let me know. Send me a comment. I will talk to all of you soon. Bye.